Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Great moments come from great opportunity. And that's what we have here tonight, boys. Kurt Brooks, by the way, of Kurt Russell. More on that coming up in a little bit, movie-wise. But, yeah, I was thinking about that quote today. And then he goes on and talking about how you were born to be hockey players. Screw the Russians. Not tonight. Tonight's all about you. You skate with them. You stay with them, right? It's phenomenal. The word great is so often overused in life and certainly in sports, but it has been what I have continuously hammered all off season. And I feel for you, Jaguar fans, because you've been put in a category because this franchise was so bad for such a long period of time that you have come to acknowledge and respect, endorse, and become, at times, overjoyed by average players. Not great players, not sensational players, not the elite, very average players. And the defining moment of the bulky Peterson movement, along with quarterback Trevor Lawrence, is certainly going to be defined by how will these players develop? How much better are they going to get year after year after year? Heck, Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. I don't blame you. You've been conditioned this way. You're used to slop. You're used to mistakes. You're used to blown draft picks. You're used to mistakes in free agency. I'll credit the bulky regime. They have improved on this, I won't say immensely, but they've improved. They really have. The question for this franchise, who's going to step forward? You need dominant players. You need game-breaking football players. Enough for rewarding average individuals. And that is what we see. I have more and more data to back this up. I'm going to roll through CBS here in a little bit. If you have a tense stomach, if it's slightly upset, it's going to get worse. The rankings for your players are putrid. They're just awful. And I know that you can team me, right? You can tell me that, well, this is the ultimate sport. This is the ultimate team sport. We need 11 guys going in one direction. We need 11 guys coming together as one. We're going to go 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 3, first down, Jacksonville, right? And give me a bunch of average guys who put forth the effort. Give me a bunch of average guys who spend 7 days a week in the weight room. And when they're not doing that, they're cramming in all the game knowledge and they're savvy. And no. You need to be a really good football player, okay? You need to be the best at your position. And that is when this football team moves to the next level. And right now, that has not happened with this club. And it is certainly something that has to happen with this club if, in fact, that is going to take place. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this exercise coming up over the next several minutes, really probably take it through the first hour or so. As always, your contributions are asked. No one participates more with a listening audience than Rick Ballou and JJ LaSalva. And here is the best way for you to do that. 641-1010. That is our text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Okay? Yesterday, we talked about the awful decision that CBS Sports made to leave Josh Hines Allen off of the list of the top 20 pass rushers in the NFL. It wasn't exclusive as a defensive end. It included outside linebackers. It was an omission, I think, that we found out. And who was a knucklehead? It was Cody Benjamin, who I actually like Cody. I think he does a pretty good job at CBS Sports. He just forgot. And there's no other way to say it. You know, you may forget your wife's anniversary, right? Well, hell, if you've been married 3 times, that's kind of expected. You may forget one of your kids' birthday. Whoa, good luck explaining yourself out of that one, all right? He forgot Jacksonville. I complained enough about that yesterday. That's why you got to take the national media for what it is. And that even includes this list and everything at CBS. However, it's what I'm going by when I talk about this because I'm really tied to it. And, you know, more than anything, I want this organization to have an offensive line. They don't have one right now. The offensive line in this city is soft as puppy poo. They sucked last year on the ground. They sucked last year when it came to pass protection. They've walked it back. They know more than I do. They know more than you do. They happen to think if we can keep them healthy, it's all going to come together this year. Is it really? Well, I got news for you. According to CBS Sports, not one of those offensive linemen in any one of the categories, tackle, guard, or center, is among the top in the NFL. They rank the top 20 tackles, the top 15 guards, the top 5 centers. Zip, zip, and zip. For one reason or another, and I still can't figure it out, Cam Robinson has entered cult-like status in Duval. I did a whole show on this about a month ago. I basically shut up. I said, can I get one of you? Just one. I don't need 8. I don't need 10. I don't need 25. I just need one. Convince me that I'm wrong. Convince me what is so great about Cam Robinson and why there's a $19 million difference between him and Walker Little and what is so dramatically different between the two. Not one of you even slightly swayed me to the other side. You know why? You can't. You can't. You don't have physical proof. You don't have data. If you're going to eye test me, whoa, you're going to lose that argument. And then on top of that, dependability and certainly the lack thereof. You can't trust Cam Robinson. When's the last time the guy's he's given you 17 games? So that's not there. Anton Harrison, he's not there. Only a rookie. Okay? I think there was a little bit more of an attaboy with Anton than there certainly was results, right? Sports Info Solutions tells us that. Pro Football Focus tells us that. I still think he's going to be a really good football player. Right? Granted, he's not playing in the position that he's used to playing. You drafted a left tackle and you made him a right tackle. Okay? I mean, that's just what this organization did. A lot of teams do that. Jacksonville's always done that. I mean, outside of Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, when's the last time they've drafted a guy and played him at the position he played in college? Right? And we'll wait to see with Thomas Jr., but everyone, oh, no, hand in the ground. No, we're going to stand him up. No, we're not going to have him on the edge. We're going to use Trayvon Walker, and we're going to work him with Bill Shuey. We're going to make him an outside linebacker. I mean, it's just year after year after year. That's just the way. And, again, they're smarter than I am, right? Great coaches, great general managers. Just draft the best possible player and put him anywhere on the football field. We'll teach him. We'll coach him up. Oh, well, wait a minute, Ballou. Aren't you saying last year that they couldn't coach anyone up on defense? The complete lack of communication? Positional drills, positional groups, lost under Mike Caldwell. And offensively, they really fell on some difficult times because, well, Press Taylor's calling plays, and Trevor Lawrence doesn't want Press Taylor calling plays, and Doug needs to call back. Anyway, we've talked about that ad nauseum. Pete Prisco, top 100 players, CBS Sports, had 2 Jaguars on it. 2. Okay? Josh Hines Allen, Trevor Lawrence. We get to these positions and we look at them all in the top 20, here comes the, here comes the protection, right? For the individuals out there who will only see things through a rose-colored glass. And I will admit, happily, that the majority of you are not that way. Jaguar fans want results. Jaguar fans have been patient for way too long, right? You want results. It's a different animal in college and pro, right? College, it's like, can't you find a way to say things a little bit nicer, you know? The college, that's always been my beef with Florida State. I'm a Florida State guy. But, Lou, can't you be kinder when you talk about, I tell you what, Florida State plays well. I'm going to gush about them. Florida State sucks it up. I'm going to tell you that it's a different vibe when you talk about Saturday and Sunday. I think the truth needs to be skirted to protect the college football brand. And maybe that's beginning to change a little bit with the NIL and the transfer portal and just everything. But for the most part, I think I'm consistent with that point of view. Where in the NFL, it's more of just give it to me, right? And I can handle it. I can handle anything. And you don't even have to taper things down. But I will say this is an opinion on CBS. And I know ESPN has done it and that there's other entities that have done it as well. This is the off season. And when we get this close to training camp, we see that the rankings come out for literally everything. So bear in mind, this is one company's opinion, and it's incredibly subjective. You can go from one device to another and get different results. But I'm going with CBS Sports. CBS Sports is what I've been talking about here for quite some time. If you go back to the top 100, and certainly what just blew me away yesterday by not putting Josh Hines-Allen as one of the top 20 pass rushers in the NFL. That's just awful. And you know, if you're like, why would you even go back to CBS after their miss yesterday? I'll tell you why. I just think it was an omission. He missed them. He just forgot about it. And again, I haven't seen if he's come back and responded to any of you. I know you hammered him on Twitter. If he's admitted that he made a mistake, because there's no justifiable reason why he would be left off. I mean, I would absolutely he can't go Jason La Canfora on you here and double down and make up another lie. Anything short of, hey, guys, you got me. I missed it. I don't know. The dog was barking. I had to let him out, and I came back, and I just missed Josh Hines-Allen. I apologize. Anything short of that is just gross for him as a writer covering the NFL. I think these other rankings, however, are legit. So let's get to the most important position on the football field. Trevor Lawrence, pay him now. Don't wait it out. Give him that 5-year extension. He's around here for 7 more years, $312.5 million. Where does CBS Sports have Trevor Lawrence right now as your starting quarterback? 15th in the NFL. Let's go back to Herb Brooks. Great moments come from great opportunity. Great players. You were born to be a hockey player. Trevor Lawrence was born to be a football player. Kid never lost in high school. Could have gone anywhere in college. Won a national championship at Clemson. Pedigree. Generational talent. Can't miss prospect. Guy who's going to change the fortunes of this franchise. Got saddled with the worst coach, arguably, in the history of the National Football League, in Urban Meyer. Those days are over. He's played 2 years since. Here comes year number 4. CBS Sports believes Trevor Lawrence is the 15th best quarterback in pro football. Mahomes, Brock Purdy at number 2. Brock Purdy, last pick of the draft. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, after 1 year, is a top 5 quarterback. I mean, honestly, isn't that where Trevor was supposed to be in year 2 and in year 3? It's now year 4, and he's 15. Okay? Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. Number 10, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins. There you go. Trevor Lawrence comes in at number 15. Your opinion, 641-1010, text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Again, I point. Not average, not slightly above average. I'm talking about elite. Talking about the best at their position in the NFL. How much is Trevor Lawrence going to improve in one season? He's had 60 turnovers in 3 years. He made stupid mistake after stupid mistake last year. Just come out and admit it. You're not going to be penalized for admitting it, especially if you're driving home in your vehicle by yourself. Admit it. He made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. 15th. How much is he going to improve? I want to see him improve immensely. Okay? Doesn't matter what I want. Doesn't matter what you want. Where's he going to be next year on this list? Let's get to running backs. Travis Etienne, 11th in the NFL. He, along with Christian McCaffrey, are the only 2 backs in the NFL who have gone north of 1,400 yards in consecutive years. Still, the rankings, Travis Etienne, 11th. McCaffrey, Henry, Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, Gibbs, Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Travis Etienne, number 11. Is Travis Etienne going to become a dominant player in the NFL? Is Travis Etienne going to become a game-breaking player in the NFL? I read Bill Barnwell's piece as well, talking about the top combination offenses outside of QBs, looking at running backs and wide receivers and tight ends. And his point, what was it, 8 of the last 9 games? Travis Etienne didn't go more than 60 yards. Travis Etienne went from 5.1 yards a game to 3.8 yards a game. Scored more touchdowns, but he played behind a terrible offensive line. A brutal offensive line. He's ranked 11th. Let's get to wide receivers. This will be quick. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. Gabe Davis, no. Christian Kirk, no. The rookie, no. Wide receivers, 0 right now, according to CBS. Tight ends, Evan Ingram, 11. Okay? They think George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, Trey McBride, TJ Hawkinson, David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, Dallas Goedert, and Dalton Kincaid. Those 10. Better than Evan Ingram. If you're scoring at home, your quarterback is 15th. Your running back is 11th. Your tight end is 11th. You don't have an offensive lineman at either tackle, guard, or center. And you don't have a wide receiver. That's your offense. Defense. Talked about the defensive ends. Non-existent. I've already given you my whatever there. An egregious mess. But still, he's not on there. And Josh Hines Allen's not on there. Trayvon Walker is not on there. Linebackers. Foye Oluokun comes in at number 16. I think he's a very underrated football player. In my opinion, I think Oluokun, I think Ingram, and I think Kirk are 3 underrated players. I believe that on any list, they're not going to get the credit that they deserve. Okay? That's maybe some homerism coming out of Ballou with those three. I think they're better than where their rankings will land. Give us your opinion with that. Cornerbacks. You don't have one in the top 20. Went back and forth with Ricky on Monday, Ricky on Twitter. He's telling me Tyson Campbell is getting ready to sign a mega contract right before the start of training camp. I know he was on our airwaves a little bit earlier today. I'm told it's going to be a top 5 deal for a corner, the highest paid for any non-Pro Bowl corner, historically speaking, when in fact it is announced. Still, not on this list. Okay, Jalen's on this list at number 3, right? I mean, you just look at all these great corners, man, and he's not there. Okay, shut up, but we move on. I will. Let's get to safety. Oh, Jacksonville doesn't have one there. Where's Andre Sisco? He's not there. Top 20 safeties in the NFL. He's not there. Okay? He's not on the list. So here's the point. You've been conditioned to love average players. You don't know any better. You haven't had a star around here that you've been able to brag about since the late 90s. The recent stars up and left, they hated it here. Jalen Ramsey hated it here. Leonard Fournette hated it here. Yannick Ngakoue hated it here. You move Calais Campbell because he costs what, $14 million? I think you got a 5th or 6th round pick for it. Okay, I mean, these are facts. Who is going to be an elite player? Where's your confidence in Tyson Campbell? He's not in the top 20. Where is it? Where's your confidence in Andre Sisco? He's not in the top 20. Where is it? Where's your confidence in Trayvon Walker? He's not in the top 20. Where is it? Where's your confidence in Devin Lloyd? He's not in the top 20. Where is it? Where's your confidence in Anton Harrison? He's not in the top 20. Where is it? Those are the best players on this team. Outside of the 3 who are ranked. Trevor, Travis, and Evan Ingram. I didn't mention Foye Oluokun. That is what needs to happen. You deserve more. Jacksonville deserves phenomenal football players, not average players who are making a phenomenal paycheck. How do you discover the talent? How do you improve the talent? How do you develop the talent? So when we're sitting here in a year, the conversation becomes, what a genius move it was re-signing Tyson Campbell. He's a top 5 corner in the NFL. What a genius move to re-sign Andre Sisco. He's a top 5 safety in the NFL. What a genius move getting ahead of the curve to sign Trevor Lawrence. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Is it going to happen? Where's your confidence level? You could tell me how great this team is, how well coached they are, how great the character is with these guys. You need to be special to win in this league. You need to be outstanding to win in this league. And again, I feel for you. Because you've been put into a category where you rave about being average. And that's what this team is right now. Average. 9-8, 9-8. Hell of a lot better than the first overall pick. But again, a 9-8 to you is spectacular because of the way that you have been conditioned with a losingest franchise in the last 10 years of any professional sport. More than anything in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, and the National Football League. The losingest franchise is your Jacksonville Jaguars. They're turning it around. But it still has to get better than just a game above 500. And the only way it's going to happen, go back to the word great, you need to develop great players. And they have to become the very best at their position. Give us your thoughts on it. 641-1010. Text line is burning up, as it should. I would expect you to be emotional about this. You should be. And we'll come back. We'll get some of your thoughts. Opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. They're always on top. They are the elite. Nothing is better than Shmunez Vision. And your family, you need to set up an appointment today. Just go to Shmunez Vision, get all the details there. Also, check them out on Instagram. You can get testimonials from many who have visited and go back. Why? It works. Certainly an eye appointment to get the very latest as far as your prescription is important. But what about when things get far more significant than that? You begin to get worried. You may think you have a cataract issue. You may think there is something else going on with your eye. Well, you're talking about high-quality medical and surgical eye care, including Dr. Neil Shmunez, who performed surgery on my right eye 8.5 years ago. Never been an issue, never been any setbacks. There you go. It's as simple as that. Check them out. Go to Shmunez Vision online. That is Shmunez Vision. When we come back, let's bring in JJ LaSelva. Let's bring in you. Give me your thought. Who's going to be great around here? Who's going to be a Baselli around here? Who's going to be a Fred Taylor around here? Who's going to be a Leon Searcy around here? Who's going to be a Tony Brackens around here? Who's going to be a Jalen Ramsey around here? Enough of this average crap. Who's going to be a great player? Your thoughts on the other side.
Defense in Duval.
That defense is behind.
Let's go, Duval! Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1010XL.
Imagine driving a late model Corvette, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, Honda, Chevy, Ford, and more. All at a fraction of the original sticker price. Visit Vaughn Motor Group's indoor showroom and browse a great selection of dream cars that are inspected with warranties. Before you make your next auto purchase, check out Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard or at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
How nice would it be not to worry about your AC unit for 10 years? What? Vaughn's Heating and Air, standing by their units for 10 years. Imagine not having to think about your AC unit for a decade. Vaughn's 10-year warranty covers the parts, labor, and refrigerant. Basically everything. No fictional problems that will cost thousands. This is legit. An AC unit with no repair costs. Wouldn't that be nice? So remember, if your AC unit won't turn on, just call Vaughn's. That's Vaughn's Heating and Air.
Hacker here with a little nugget for you. I just took my wedding ring off for the first time in 9 years. No, there's not trouble in paradise. Get this. My wedding ring was falling off. I've lost so much weight, my ring couldn't keep up. But hold up. I'm not resisting it just yet. Why? Because I'm still losing weight with Awaken 180. Down 75 pounds so far, and every week the scale shows a lighter number. Once I do reach my goal weight, however, that's when I'll resize that sucker and put it back on for good. I say for good because the weight stays off with Awaken 180. It's a lifestyle change, or should I say a lifestyle enhancer. That's combined with free support for life, and I'm confident I'll keep the weight off like all the other Awaken 180 clients. Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes still receive free support when they need it, and yep, the weight has stayed off on them. The stories aren't stories. They're real accounts. What's stopping you? Go online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Attention sports fans, are you ready to take your game to the next level? Look no further than Best Bet. You can bet anywhere, but you'll definitely win here. Experience the thrill of sports like never before. With all the major games broadcasting live on our big screens and a menu stacked with your favorite foods and refreshing drinks, you're sure to find your winning ticket. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com. Bet anywhere, win here. Only at Best Bet.
College football starts with SEC Football Media Days. Coming soon. Players, coaches, college football insiders.
He's our quarterback. He's our leader.
Brought to you by Window World of Northeast Florida and Kanaya Water Jacksonville on 1010XL.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and I have exciting news from Leonard Truck Outfitters, now with 2 great locations to get that truck hooked up. Beach Boulevard just past Southside and one on Blanding. I got my truck taken care of, and you should too. Leonard Truck Outfitters, your truck, your style.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids, healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing has the highest wind and impact ratings available? If you want a stronger roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Learn more at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
International Soccer returns this summer. Don't miss Premier League clubs, Wolves and West Ham in Jacksonville for the Stateside Cup, July 27th at Everbank Stadium. Tickets as low as $35 at StatesideCup.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Dog days, my ass. No such thing on the home of the Jaguars. About taking that next step. And that's what this football team needs to do. Tough to believe that the 24th of July is when training camp will open at the Miller Electric Center. Looking forward to seeing you all out there. Should be an interesting camp. Really should be. JJ LaSelva.
Yo.
How are you, young man?
I'm great.
5 1/3 last night for Chris Sale.
Yeah. A great outing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he did really well up until the last 2 batters of the game. I don't even think he should have been in that game.
21 of 24 first pitch strikes.
And he's just been dominant lately. But yes, the Chris Sale of old, who is incredibly uneconomical with his pitch count, struck again last night. But the Braves are hot, 4 in a row.
Yeah, playing some good base. That one in the 5th, he had like a 10 or 11 pitch at bat and ended up walking a guy. That I don't remember who he faced, but that's what he did in Boston. He'd give you 5 1/3, and then you'd look and you'd see 3 or 4 walks, 8 or 9 strikeouts, but over 100 pitches, and then it was time to go to the bullpen.
Luckily for the Braves, their bullpen's been lights out.
Yeah, Braves have been playing well. as of late. All right, the show tonight, and each and every night at 6:30, brought to you by our good folks over at Thermal Engineers, and they're hiring, okay? For more than 20 years, Thermal Engineers, a commercial HVAC contractor right here throughout North Florida. They are hiring qualified technicians and installers. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and how about a signing bonus? You're a qualified technician and an installer. Make sure you check them out. A couple of ways to do so. Go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., or their phone number's catchy. 230-1172. 230-1172. An equal opportunity employer, the good folks at Thermal Engineers. You and I kid about these lists. Matter of fact, I think this shelf season I've gone to them more than I ever have in my life. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I still think there's misses here by the national media. And we've had this conversation. It's the biggest point that I've made, JJ, during this offseason about taking these average players, and you need a couple of them to become among the elite in the NFL. Let's leave Josh Hines Allen out of this because I think he's come close to elite status. Give me one. Who's next? Is there anyone right now on this shelf, on this team, that in a year we could say could be top 5 in any one of these positional groups?
Top 5? Probably not. Maybe if Tyson Campbell becomes like a freak, I could see that maybe. But for Trevor to get in the top 5, you'd probably have to see a couple guys fall off. I don't think anyone from the receiving core. Probably take a couple years for this rookie. If he is to become a freak, in the league, he's not going to do it right away. He's certainly not going to break into the top 5 anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Evan Ingram, no, I would probably think he's in the 5 to 10 range, 6 to 10. I don't know who you'd take out of there. Maybe Trayvon. What if Trayvon becomes a dominant player down there? I don't know if he'll make the top 5 next year in any one of these lists, but his future could be bright. But yeah, I see your point. A lot of average to above average, but no superstars on the Jags right now.
I don't have faith in Tyson Campbell and Andre Sisco being that good. Okay, I just don't. Devin Lloyd's very intriguing to me because a lot of people believe he has not been used the right way. And again, that goes back to the former regime, right? Whether it was Gus or Marone under Dave Caldwell. Did they use guys correctly? They didn't know how to. Miles Jack, where they put the green dot on him, he fell apart. He didn't have the mental capacity to call plays. He could not line up the other 10 guys. They never knew what to do with Tavon Bryant, right? That's just a couple of first-round examples. This is year 3 for Devin Lloyd. We don't know if he's a strong side or weak side linebacker. We know he's not good in coverage. Are they going to have him sick the quarterback? Or are we going to go into his final year, wonder they're going to pick up that 5th-year option and wonder, again, are they going to re-sign him? It's a colossal question mark. Tend to agree with you with Trayvon Walker. Okay, the other 2 for me, and we're talking about guys, one has never stepped on the field before in Brian Thomas Jr. He's never done it. He's never even been in one game. I mean, can you anoint him with all of the great wide receivers in pro football that he's going to be able to take that step? There's certainly an opportunity for that to happen. I mean, Gabe Davis has never caught more than 44, 45 balls in a year? What would lead you to believe that he's going to do that? I think Christian Kirk's their best wide receiver. Okay, you got to stay healthy. Brian Thomas Jr., absolutely. And then the same thing I said about Devin Lloyd applies now to Anton Harrison. If he's your best lineman, okay, he's playing a position he's not familiar with. They didn't put him at left tackle. They put him at right tackle. Okay, and you and I both know that depending on what happens, Anton Harrison could play 17 games at right tackle this year and, believe it or not, be your starter in year 3 at left tackle. With 0 NFL experience at left tackle, 2 years of 17 games at right tackle, that's That's what they have done. That's what they have elected to do. You know, it seems pretty common. Draft a guy at his position, play him at that position. And I wish I, had the resources where I could go track every team when it comes to this. I don't. I don't waste my time on other teams. But I'll tell you, between Dave Caldwell and Trent Baalke, that has been consistent. They get guys and they make them play different positions, okay? That is what we have seen. 67-71, geez, Ballou, it's freaking July. Who went pee-pee in your cornflakes? You know what? I'm just trying to make things better around here. I mean, rewarding average play because of how bad things have been historically is not good business. It's better than it was. But my whole pitch here is to become better than it's been. All right? And if these players don't get better that I mentioned, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to be another 9-8. You want to sit through another 9-8? And I get it, man. A 9-8's better than winning 1 or 2 games. Yes, it's much better. But you got a generational quarterback. All right? You just paid the guy $200 and whatever it was, $75 million. It's time for results.
Where do you think ETN is like compared to the rest of the running backs in the league?
I'd rank him higher than 11. This again, and now let me say this. Let me pull up the list here. The eye test tells me ETN had a better year last year than he did the year prior, although average per carry went from 5.1 to 3.8, which is a huge drop-off.
Yes.
A massive drop-off. The eye test tells me it was better. He led the NFL in broken tackles. He was one of only 2 backs who's gone north of 1,400 yards to the line of scrimmage. He doubled his intake in receptions. I think what's hurt Travis Etienne is he played behind a terrible offensive line. I mean, arguably one of the worst, if not the worst offensive line in pro football. If you're Travis Etienne, what are you thinking right now? He's saying to himself, they walked back the same offensive line unit that 25% of my carries, I was caught at the line of scrimmage or caught behind the line of scrimmage. Wow. Think about that for one moment. 1 out of every 4 times Trevor Lawrence handed the football off to Travis Etienne, he was stonewalled behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. That's not his fault. That's poor game. That's poor play calling, and that's an awful offensive line.
And like we know when he can get at least to the line of scrimmage, he's going to be great. They had that stat the other day that was how fast he ran. Like his speed when he hit the line of scrimmage was the fastest in the league, I believe. And so when he has a little bit of space, he can be good. But like you said, that stat's insane. That's damning. I've never heard that. Mm-hmm. 1 out of every 4 of his carries last season.
All right, let's go through it real quick. McCaffrey, obviously, he's number 1.
Yeah.
No, all right, Derrick Henry at this point in his career.
I wouldn't have him 2, but he's certainly above ETN.
Okay, so if you had your just tell me who you...
Out of those 2, okay.
You'd rather have Henry here than ETN?
Yes.
Okay. Bijan Robinson, Atlanta.
Bijan.
Yep, absolutely going Bijan. Jonathan Taylor. I am too. I know he was injured last year. Nick Chubb, absolutely. Before he blew out his knee, Nick Chubb was phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm worried about that, though. But, yeah, if I had to choose one, I'd definitely take Chubb. But, yeah, I don't even know when he's going to be back. They're saying at the beginning of the year, but I would hold my breath on that one.
Breece Hall, New York.
I'll go ETN.
I would too.
But people love Breece Hall. I mean, I wasn't watching any Jets games last year after Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I just felt like it was a waste of time, but apparently he's really good.
Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia.
Saquon.
Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to say. Look at their ditch and look at Jacksonville's
ditch. Of course.
Ditch.
Best offensive line in football.
Yep. Them in Detroit. And that's the next guy with Gibbs, the former Georgia Tech Alabama running back.
I loved him last season. I'm going to go with Gibbs.
But what does Detroit have?
Right. Like if we saw Etienne behind that line in Detroit or, Philly.
It's tough to measure Etienne because he plays behind a terrible offensive line.
Luke Fortner was basically in his lap every play.
Josh Jacobs now in Green Bay.
I'll go Etienne.
Yeah, I will too. Aaron Jones in Minnesota. I'm going to take Etienne.
Yep.
So I could see Etienne going from 11th on this list, maybe to 8.
6, 7, 8, yeah. And then they have to figure out what to do with him.
Let's see here. Ballou, this is from 6031. The O-line is the reason Trevor has struggled. The Jaguars couldn't pass protect or run block during the second half of the season. You even pointed that out when you referenced Etienne's stats for the last 6 or 7 games. If the O-line has truly been at the bottom of the NFL for the past 2 seasons, then what kind of impact must they have on Trevor's play and statistics? Massive. I think so. And those stats have led to CBS ranking him number 15. Okay. I think there's some truth to that. All right. I got quite a few people here telling me that Trevor's not a smart football player, using some expletives to define that. I would lean more towards, I believe Trevor tries to make plays. I tried to get this out of Mike McCoy when I met with him, the quarterback's coach, 6-7 weeks ago, and he fiercely defined or defended Trevor Lawrence and almost made it seem like I'm not seeing the game the way that the game needs to be seen. And I get it. He's defending his guy, right? He's not going to throw him under the bus the way that Press Taylor did after all those interceptions when you and I both know that was all Calvin Ridley's fault. But Ridley doesn't have the didn't and probably still doesn't now have the mental capacity to handle criticism, right? Trevor can. Trevor can stand up like a man and take it. But yes, the offensive line it's the biggest problem on this football team. And it's not even close. It is far and away the biggest problem on this football team. And there's nothing I'd love more than for them to prove me wrong, for them to literally make me eat my words. And I feel like there's almost zero chance that happens. Some of you out there think this offensive line is going to turn around. Good. I hope you're right. And I hope you come in here and lambaste me for it. I just don't see that happening. 641-1010, best way for you to get on in. That is the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
At Honda, we appreciate all the comparisons to other vehicles. And no matter how many times they compare their vehicles to a Honda, only a Honda is a Honda. Remember, value, quality, safety, there is no substitute. Visit your local Honda dealer now and experience the difference.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
This is Hayes Carlion for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Let's go!
Help cheer your Sharks on to victory as they battle the Green Bay Blizzards in exciting IFL football action this Saturday, July 13th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now, check out our new family pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. It's a great deal. To purchase yours or to get more information, call 904-621-0700. And ho, ho, ho! Who's ready for Christmas in July?
A little Christmas music, maestro?
Whether you're on the naughty or nice list, come out and support your Sharks. You never know, you might get a chance to say hi to Santa.
It's almost Christmas.
All we want for Christmas is a Sharks win. Check out our post-game autograph session and see if the players and dancers are asking for the same present as you.
Let's go!
Don't miss the fun and excitement of Sharks football this Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Let's go!
Let's go! This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
July 10, 1934, National League pitcher Carl Hubbell strikes out Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin for MLB All-Star record for consecutive strikeouts.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and you've got so much going on Atlantic near Regency. Greg, tell them about the boats that you have.
I'll tell you, we've got a full line of coach pontoons, and we just got the new Honda Seabrook series. It's a 19-foot center console, all with legendary Honda outboards.
And that means you can get on the water, you can enjoy a smooth ride, and great Honda technology.
Absolutely. You'll never be left behind with Honda.
And don't forget, Scout Pontoon Boats. They're both there on the lot. Check them out. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency or cyclesofjacksonville.com.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Hey, David here with Royal Pest Services. Men, are you struggling in the bedroom? Do spiders and roaches have you scared? Visit RoyalPestServices.com and let us help you get that man card back. Guaranteed results on our first visit.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, real quick segment here because I went way overboard, and we want to bring in some college football coming up here with our friend Niall Lawrence Stample. I do have a good one here, though. 5262 says, Ballou, does Phil Rauscher keep his job if things do not work out? I'm not a fan of just firing guys. I think Phil Rauscher's a good coach. I'm not sure if his offensive blocking scheme is best right now for this organization, but he had an excuse last year. They were hurt. And that certainly paid dividends They were beaten up. They were hurt. Cam got popped for 4 games. They were a ripped-apart unit. Ben Barch did nothing. Sheriff was hurt. Fortner was bullied. Harrison played hurt. And, of course, he was in Minnesota before he got here, and he had the say to bring back Ezra Cleveland. I mean, that's all that you need to know. The fact that Cleveland is back here as the left guard, fully endorsed by Phil Rauscher, says that, right now he's safe. Now, this could all change. Remember, he took over as a brand new offensive line coach. What Jacksonville did is they got too good too soon by winning those 9 games 2 years ago and winning a playoff game. All right? Doug Peterson didn't think it would happen that quick. If so, he wouldn't have hired a first-time offensive coordinator, a first-time defensive coordinator, and a first-time special teams coach. He also hired, for the most part, a first-time offensive line coach. I think he had 1 year under his belt in Minnesota. He was an assistant offensive line coach. You don't make moves like that thinking you're going to the playoffs in year 1. They overachieved in 2022 and obviously struggled mightily in the second half of 2023. All right, much more on the Jaguars coming up as well. We got some college football we want to get into with the former Florida State Seminole, Niall Lawrence Stample. He goes into the night next with us here on your home of the Jags.
Some people call it Jags. Some call it the First Coast. We call it
The place that we all call home.
1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Frank Franzi here. Ready to experience used-phoria? You can with Car Bravo at Nimnik Buick GMC, Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealer. Buying a certified used vehicle has never felt better. With Car Bravo, Nimnik Buick GMC can certify all makes and models: Honda, Toyota, Kia, Mazda, Ford. Nimnik Buick GMC is proud to be named the #1 Car Bravo dealer in the Southeast region and top 10 in the country. So shop online at Nimnik Buick GMC. Nimnik, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just 1 visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just 1 visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Look, we've all been there before. A weekend trip to the casino canceled because real life came calling. Well, MyBookie's new and improved online casino is here to change the game. Dive into a truly realistic casino experience featuring the latest in slots, progressive jackpots, and live dealer action, all from the comfort of your own home. I love the live casino. The roulette is awesome. It's so easy and so much fun. Just go to MyBookie and click Live Casino at the top. You'll find live dealers ready to deal or spin, just like you're at the casino. The MyBookie Casino provides a Las Vegas experience when the action is in your hands. Start at MyBookie today with a generous sign-up bonus using promo code 1010XL, and a revamped loyalty program ensures a host of exclusive VIP perks. So sign up and hit the casino with promo code 1010XL. The more you play, the more you win. Only with MyBookie.
A no-risk, all-rewards path to real weight loss. If you're not happy with your Awaken 180 results in the first week, get 100% of your money back. No risk, but every reward. With the solution for weight loss, Awaken180weightloss.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
7 o'clock right here in your home of the Jaguars. With you for another hour till 8. That'll be the deal tomorrow, 6 to 8, and Friday. Then I have been asked to go away for a week. Just go, get out of here. And that'll be my final vacation until February. I will not miss time during football season. You kidding me? Jaguars, all this stuff coming in, all this greatness with this football team and everything that's going on in college football. My goodness, what an off season it's been. And that off season is basically coming to an end. Before you know it, training camps will begin all across the college football landscape, and that includes Florida State. So let's bring in Niall Lawrence-Stample. Of course, he won a national championship as a defensive lineman with the beloved, also played for the Cleveland Browns. And he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Niall Lawrence-Stample. What a great football name.
I appreciate it, man.
It's a defensive name. Could have been an offensive guy. You know, with a Niall Lawrence-Stample, you got to play defense.
Yeah, that's a defensive name. I agree, man.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
All you big guys are losing weight. I was with Greg Huntington today, one of the 10 original Jaguars. He's down to about 260. What was your high as a player? How big did you get?
I want to say 330, 325 was probably my high.
And what are you now?
Like 270, 265.
Calories? I mean, do you eat as much? Just eat leaner food now, more vegetables? How about the whole intake food-wise?
I think the intake is definitely a lot lower, but I will say just the cardio. And that's one thing after I got out I did not want to do just because I was just running. Obviously, you're working out all the time when you're an actual professional athlete. But so after that, I was like, I'm done. But then it crept up on me. So it was time to start working out.
I'm glad you've lost weight and others have lost weight because there's nothing that bothers me more when I see someone who goes long before it's time. And a lot of these former players haven't been able to get their weight down. But, I've seen Tony Vaselli recently way down. I just mentioned Huntington. Another former Jaguar here in town, Don Davey, looks like he weighs about 200 pounds as a former defensive lineman. So it's great if you're able to do that. I know it's conditioning the brain to eat less and whatever. It's got to be difficult, though.
Yeah, no, it absolutely can be. And it's just when you set your mind to it, it's just like you got to just get after it, man. That's it.
Yeah. You and I have had a lot of conversations about leadership when it comes to both of our alma maters at Florida State and how the game has changed. And now we're seeing transfers come in, immediately be asked to be leaders, and that has included quarterbacks for a lot of different programs. Now it's DJ Uiagalelei who's going to take over this year as the starter. What were your thoughts on what he penned yesterday about saying no to going to Charlotte to represent Florida State at the Atlantic Coast Conference football meetings, instead sending a more deserving player who was part of last year's championship?
I think it was a unbelievable opportunity to show who DJ is as a person. We've been hearing it from everyone and being able to see it. It's something that I think was a great opportunity for him to take advantage of. And when you see DJ in person and you see him interact with his teammates, that is who he is. So there's a few reasons why I think that this was a phenomenal opportunity. One, he was able to kind of show the world I am the teammate and I am the person that everyone calls me.
Mm-hmm.
And then second, you're able to then show, okay, well, now you have a actual player that was in the ACC championship last year that showed everything that they had, gave everything that they had, and can now represent to the ACC, hey, listen, I'm still here. I'm still not happy. And then last but not least, DJ was able to really display that the quarterback is not the biggest piece of the pie. It is not the most important. We can always do things without the quarterback, and the quarterback is a piece of the puzzle and not the puzzle itself.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense, and that's a great point that you made, because when we get with these athletes, when they roll through, the two most prominent questions that are going to be asked basically don't apply to DJ Uiagalelei. Number one, it's going to be, you were undefeated and you can get to play in the college football playoff, and how do you respond after having everyone sitting out and you lost 63-3 to Georgia?
Yes, exactly. So some of those questions, which you're going to have a lot of media guys and a lot of those news analysts that are going to be upset that he's not there. But at the same time, like you said, there's going to be a ton of questions that he will not be able to answer and not be able to show that expression and show that emotion. And I think that he genuinely made the right choice.
A lot to be excited about when Florida State kicks off their camp coming up in just a couple of weeks. And again, they'll be here in Jacksonville at UNF on August 7th and 8th. Is there a position battle that fires up Niall Lawrence Stample?
There's a few of them. I'm excited to watch on every part of the field. I'm excited to watch even the quarterback battle. I think obviously, it seems like we're going to be going with DJ, but I think as long as we have Brock in the midst, as well as our new arrival that I'm super excited about as well, as long as they're really pushing, we're going to get the best player on the field, and that's super important. But my number one right now would probably be Conrad Hussey, seeing if he can take that spot and be able to be that starter. I know obviously we have Devontae Brown that came from Miami, and he's a great player, and I think that he is going to add a huge element. So we'll see who can get it, but I think that position battle is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Very interesting. I mean, it feels like most of these positions are pretty much set. Running back could be interesting as well, with Toafili returning. But, I've finally been able to watch a little bit of tape on Roydell Williams coming over from Alabama. And, Singleton is there. Holmes is there, the Penn State transfer. Then you see this small Jalen Lucas, and I know we've had conversations about him before, but probably the fastest guy on this Florida State football team.
Yes, and where we have a few really good key guys at wide receiver, we're not 100% stacked there. So I think with having the Jalen Lucases and the Toafilis and the Roydells, all these running backs have something similar, and they all can catch out of the backfield. So us being able to have them and be able to really push down the field, I think it opens up our pass game a lot, where we do have some questions at that wide receiver spot. So I think with us being able to look at how stacked we are in that running back room, we may see a couple running backs start to kind of flare out and be some slots and stuff like that throughout the season.
Now, Lawrence Stample, our guest, business owner right here in town. You've also spent time in Tallahassee, and you visited with Mike Norvell. You've watched him conduct some off-season practices. And when you look at talent lost or production lost, so much off this offense, so much off this defense. What's Mike Norvell's role now after being as successful as they have been the last 2 years, but to really lose prominent football players? And hopefully Florida State's in a situation now where they're finally reloading, not rebuilding. But it's a big year for Mike Norvell.
It's a huge year for Mike Norvell, and I think he's going to do a phenomenal job, because I think he has the foundation of a phenomenal coach, and he's built culture, and that's what's going to carry you. But I think there's a few reasons on why I think it's such a big year for him. Is not only are you coming off of one of the best seasons that you probably can come off. You came off undefeated. So there's really a lot of expectation there, but then you also had majority of your starters leave. Not only that, in this new day and age, we have a bunch of transfers, so it's not a lot of guys that was in the midst, but you have new players that are coming on, and you have to really answer the bell. You have to be able to show that you can do it on a consistent basis with whoever you have. So it's not foundational. It's not coming up. It's not an underdog story. It is showing that regardless of who you have on that field, because of how well of a coach that you've done and the coaching that you've done, you can still win nonetheless.
Going back to our conversations that we had in January and possibly even into around, I was going to say signing period in February, but we know that those days are gone and everything now basically happens in December. But for me, a big part of this with Mike Norvell was getting rid of being left off as a playoff and getting rid of 63-3, which could have been just a huge hangover. Here it is mid-July. From the outside, clearly where I am, it feels like that's gone right now from this football team.
No, it's completely gone. And I think that you can't forget it too much, but you have to be able to move on with it. But I think where you have the DJ Uiagalelei and him being able to realize that he needs to send or he needs to relinquish that spot in order to be able to show the team how much of a player he is, I think that is a great sign. We're talking about really good signs in Tallahassee that the culture is being built, and you have to be able to pull that fire out of these players. And a lot of the players weren't there. A lot of players aren't going to be there for this season that was there last season. So you're not going to have a ton of hatred, but Norvell's going to have to pull it out of them.
Yeah, I don't want to compare DJ Uiagalelei to Bo Nix, but Bo Nix at Auburn made a lot of mistakes and really disappointed. And then he went off to Oregon, and when it was all said and done, there's never been a quarterback in the history of college football who had more starts than Bo Nix. And we know he is now a first-round draft pick in Denver. I had a guest on the other night who made an unbelievable point, Niall. DJ Uiagalelei has 40 career starts in college football. All of the naysayers, all of the negativity, you're going to know. The light's either going to go on and he can play, or he's going to remain, maybe a little bit under the radar and not live up to the expectations that was, anointed to him when he went to Clemson 5 years ago.
Yeah, so you have to, especially in this new era where you're moving from school to school and you're trying to figure out the best opportunity, I think that the organization has so much to do with cultivating great players. You have Florida State that is almost at the best opportunity and the best time. We could have a couple more weapons for him, but I think the culture and the things that are around him, I think that he could have done well at Clemson. He could have done better at Clemson, but the culture, what is being built around him is going to play such a big factor. And I think that he picked such a great university. He understands why he picked that. And I think Norvell has him. He saw what we were able to do with Travis. He saw the progression with Travis. I think that there's such a similar style playing type that I think this year is such a great opportunity for him to seize the opportunity based on the people that are around him.
All right, in your career at Florida State, whether it was when you were real young and not playing as much or up until your final couple of seasons where you were performing all the time, what was the most difficult place for you to go on the road and play in?
So if I had to answer a question like that, it would have to be, it would have to be probably Death Valley. Just because a few reasons. One, their fans are real rowdy and they like to get after it. And the stadium itself, the way the stadiums are created is so important to the dynamic of when you're on the field. So whereas the Swamp, the stadium is very spread out, it's very far back. You're not feeling like you're being submerged or you're covered. When you're in Death Valley, you feel like you are absolutely covered in orange. It's just like a sea of orange. But I will have to say, as a defensive player, there's really no tough place. When we go in, we put our nose down, we get our nose dirty, period. There is no real crowd noise because they're quiet for the offense, especially when we're away. They're quiet for the offense. And when we're at home, when it is as loud as it possibly can be, we're pretty much levitating off the ground getting after it. So there's really no hard place to play. When during practice, we'll have that crowd noise and everything for the offense. But when we typically go away, it's quiet. And when we do hear it quiet, we know that we're making plays in the back.
Wow. Death Valley, my first time there was in 88. That was the Deion Sanders punt return and also the fumble Rooski by Jacksonville's Leroy Butler. And that was in just a ton of rain. And that's when Florida State was on the rise. And they had a decent showing, but it was tougher to get tickets then for Florida State fans. When they joined the Atlantic Coast Conference, I also went to their first ever game there in 1992, where they benched Charlie Ward, went to Danny Cannell, then turned around and sat down Cannell, and Ward pulled it out late in the fourth quarter, hitting Kevin Knox and among others for the win. But you could tell just 4 years later how that Florida State fan base had grown and how there were that many more people in the seats in that really small amount of time. So that is a nasty place to play. You never got a chance to go to Notre Dame.
No, I did not.
That's where they go this November.
Yeah,
that's going to be pretty difficult.
That's going to be a real fun game to watch.
Yeah, but that's interesting. You know, with all the people I've talked to, I've never really thought about it that way. I mean, you always hear about how tough it is to go play in these environments. The only reason why I asked you is EA Sports ranked the top 25. They have Florida State in here at 9. They had Texas A&M as 1. All right, and let's see, they had Clemson here at 12. So, you know, it's a very subjective list, but I've never really thought about it that way. It's a difficult place to play with the crowd is for your offense. Yeah. It's not for you guys on defense.
Exactly. Defense is easy to play. We're in there, we're getting after it, and the quieter it is, the better we play, and they want it quiet in there for their offense. Yeah. So it's pretty consistent when we go off.
All right, now Lawrence Stample, former national champion for Florida State, and played for the Cleveland Browns, also a business owner here now with NLS Cleaning. What's going on? What's the latest?
Nothing much, man. We're still getting after it. This rain has been real interesting, but it's you get lucky when you can predict it and you can know that you can get after it in the morning. So we're still doing a ton of washing, a ton of commercial stuff, a ton of residential, keeping our homeowners and our resident owners and everyone here in Jax cleaned up and making sure that their houses are nice. So follow us on Instagram at NLS Cleaning, as well as follow me on Instagram at Nolan with Niall. It is our passion to make sure everybody's house here is in tip-top shape for a great price. We really try to make sure our pricing is reasonable and is affordable for our homeowners, and that you guys are getting a great value.
Yeah, looking forward to watching practice with you when the Knowles come up here in just a couple of weeks. Do you have plans to make it back over to God's country before then?
Yes, absolutely. I'll be going back over there. I want to talk with a few guys. There's a few guys that I'm talking with in terms of just trying to see how they can break out, because there's a difference between being a player and just kind of getting reps and then being that guy, being that starter, being that reliant guy. So I'm trying to work with a few players there. So I'll be there, as well as I'll be taking my boys out to the practices here in Jack. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to a great football season.
Once again, tell our listeners the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, they can give us a call at 904-708-8802. Give us a call. You can reach out. You can reach out to us on our website at nlscleaning.net. We would love to help you with anything you need.
Niall Lawrence Stample. Always appreciate him dropping by. Always good to see you.
Sir, thank you very much, Rick.
There he goes, Niall Lawrence Stample. Any reaction to that? Get us right now on the text line. That number for you is 641-1010, and it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Make your track bar adjustment on 1010XL.
He said he was a little bit free.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 on your NASCAR station. 1010XL.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy, higher interest rates, 401ks, but I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
This is David Lane. After suffering through several painful injuries to my shoulder, back, and knees, I've taken my issues to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and without fail, they've been a tremendous help towards solving my problems. If you have any orthopedic situations, don't procrastinate. Take action today. Give those aches and pains to the pros at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You'll be glad you did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
July 10, 1934, National League pitcher Carl Hubbell strikes out Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin for MLB All-Star record for consecutive strikeouts.
I-9 Sports is fired up for their summer flag football tournament series, so make sure your team is part of the action. It's all happening in June and July at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows at their brand new turf facility. Register as a team and join the fun at i9sports.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Underwood has completed 75 years in business, and now you are starting your next 75 years. If you were going to simplify things, what is the single most important thing in Underwood's history, and what will be the most important thing in your future?
Frank, that's simple. Our honesty and integrity. You know, our founder, H.F. Underwood's favorite saying was, know the truth and tell the truth. That's why we're the longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in Florida. Because we know you have to have the knowledge about gemstones before you can tell the truth about them. That's why we continue to educate our staff through the Gemological Institute of America and the American Gem Society. In fact, today, Underwood's has the largest American Gem Society credentialed staff of professionals east of the Mississippi River. So come by and see why we're looking forward to the next 75 years and let one of our experts assist you.
That's at Underwood's, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, the shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 877-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Hey, Matt Hayes here with Mike Dempsey. Both continuing to reap the benefits of losing weight with Awaken 180. For me, it starts with sleep. That's right, a full night's sleep every night. Another thing, I haven't been sick in months. No colds, no sinus infections. Mike?
Same thing here. My added bonus is I've lost a few more pounds in free maintenance. Crazy to think the weight not only stayed off since last September, but I don't even think about it anymore. With Awaken 180, keeping it off becomes second nature. I've had my cheat days, I have my cheat meals, but it's not really cheating when the results stay the same.
Awaken 180 isn't just about losing weight. It's about enhancing your life, better sleep, better health, and for me, enjoying golf and swimming without joint pain.
When you're not carrying around 40 extra pounds, your joints surely thank you. Have your joints, your heart, and your scale thanking you too, and do what we did online at awaken180weightloss.com.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Biana's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Busy, busy, busy. We love it. Thought it was an outstanding point made there a moment ago by our guest, Niall Lawrence Stample. I have probably been known to overthink certain aspects in the world of sports, certainly that of the intangibles. I think a lot of that goes back to my former background as a degenerate gambler. But whether it's hockey, baseball, basketball, or football, we always talk about how difficult it is to play somewhere, right? You much rather be home than away, although hockey's a little odd when it comes to that. But when you get to these sports, the crowd is brutal, but I never really gave it much consideration that it only applies on the road to your offense. Because when your opponent's offense is on the field, the home team's offense is on the field, and you're on defense, it's going to be silent so they can hear the cadence. I don't know why it took so long in life for me to understand that. Now made a good point, but by looking at our text line, JJ, it also feels as though there's others that are figuring this out for the first time.
Yeah, we just don't think about it from that point of view.
Yeah.
It did remind me of last season where Doug or Caldwell told the media after the game that the defense was having a hard time because it was too loud at the home game. And it's like, well, would you rather it be silent for the offense to do whatever they want, call out any audible? But, yeah, I've never thought about it from that point of view. It's got to be eerie to be out there with, like, you know, you're at LSU in front of 100,000 people, and you could just hear a pin drop when their offense is out there. Very odd.
Very odd. 2458 says, Ballou, why does no one address you need a top elite staff to create elite players? Perhaps we do not have the coaches to do this. We do not develop players. This is quite this is a very good question, a very time-consuming question, because for anyone in this business who does what I do, and I don't want to stereotype it, I guess I'll just give you my opinion on me and how long I've been into it and have been around it. If you're good enough for yourself to know who the great positional coaches are in this league, then you are absolutely spectacular. In all my years, I can think of maybe a guy like the late John Clayton, who may have known something like that. Let's face it. I cover one team. I can't tell you if Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, or anyone else in the AFC has a better wide receivers coach than the wide receivers coach here. Now, there are some that are very obvious. Like a few years ago with Sanjay Lal was just a really bad offensive line. When Urban brought him in, there have been examples of poor coaching.
Now, would you be able to know that without being like at practices, at training camp?
Well, that really came from me being the sideline reporter.
Okay.
Just sticking my nose in behind the bench and seeing some things like that. But no, the answer to that question is no. I mean, all these players look good. You see them getting coached. That takes a special talent. This is a really small fraternity. Now, just like everything else in life, guys get breaks. Guys get put in positions that they may not deserve because of nepotism, because of, they're friends with someone. They somehow got in, and all of a sudden, look at Lane Kiffin.
They were on the same staff together or whatever.
I don't know if people will admit it now, but when Lane Kiffin was on the staff here, he was considered lazy and aloof. And his dad is one of the great defensive minds of the last 50 years in the National Football League, in Monty Kiffin. So Lane got a break, and Lane's resume almost looks backwards if you look at how he was the former head coach of the Raiders and head coach of Tennessee and head coach of USC. And, when I got to Chicago and I was doing national radio, we were the home of the USC Trojans on AM 1540. in L.A., and to this day, I love them for it because they provided so many guests. I mean, you name it, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, all the way Pete Carroll, the whole way. They just provided them, and it was a great time. But if you remember that coaching staff, Pete Carroll ran the defense. He didn't have a defensive coordinator. It was Norm Chow, BYU's Norm Chow, running that offense, and he had Steve Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin as his offensive coordinator and his quarterbacks coach. And that's when Lane Kiffin really began to take off. And there was still some mistakes and some immaturity that we talked about when he was a head coach. But, you look at Lane Kiffin now, he still will say whatever on Twitter, and, he's kind of off the wall with that stuff. But I'll be the first one to tell you that if Mike Norvell was to go to Alabama a year ago and I would have had any say at all, it wouldn't have been Deion Sanders. It would have been Lane Kiffin. I want, Billy Napier to hang on to his job at Florida for the sole reason that Florida does not bring in Lane Kiffin. I wish I could tell you more about this, but I would be honestly, I'd be lying to you. Now, offensive and defensive coordinators is one thing. I have an idea of who and we threw out names this past year for defensive coordinator, and we've done that many times over the years. Offensive coordinator as well. But when all of a sudden you're telling me who's the best safety coach, who's the best linebacker coach, who's the best tight end coach, I mean, I'd just be lying to you. It's a great question. It really is. A very good question. Doug Peterson's won a Super Bowl. He's lined himself up with some good coaches. Again, I'm not going to get away from my earlier point with this, though. I do think the way that he put together his staff was not to have immediate success, not to go 9-8 and win a playoff game. Again, I just don't. I don't have the facts or the data to back it up, but I just don't think you come in as a first-year coach, even though it was his second job as a head coach, first year with a new organization. Basically a rookie quarterback because it was a lost year. You bring in a new first-time offensive coordinator, a new first-time defensive coordinator, a new first-time special teams coach, and also some new position coaches like Phil Rauscher. Well, again, I think he had the interim tag over in Minnesota. That doesn't feel like a built to win this year with all these first guys. It's kind of like, let's get it rolling. You remember Peterson's whole approach? Stability, consistency, year after year after year, keep adding. He preached that. And you know what? He's kept the offensive staff intact for the most part. Let some defensive coaches go. Here's a guy getting on me about the SEC, ACC. I don't feel like talking about that right now. 1596, yada, yada, yada. Trevor needs a super team to be elite. He's just not as advertised, in my opinion. He will not get voted into the Pro Bowl unless he's top 5 or opt out. He may be an outside investigator. All right, Pro Bowl is a totally different situation. Super team to be elite. Trevor Lawrence needs to make people better. A lot of that is on him. He's just not as advertised, in my opinion. Well, the majority disagree because they just paid him. And obviously the most important people in all of this disagree. But that's Shad Khan and Trent Baalke because they signed him to the deal. He's going to be under a microscope now. He is. He's going to have to play better football. Realistically, I think we've done this before. And it is kind of, it'll wear on you. But I'm just looking at 15th as far as quarterbacks. All right, Mahomes is in a world of his own. So let's forget about that. Let's random fire right now. Number 2 on this list is Brock Purdy. Honestly, who would you rather have leading this organization, Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy?
Trev.
Me too. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yes. Joe Burrow.
Burrow.
C.J. Stroud.
Trevor. That's a hot take.
We're all on the yeah. You know what? And it's almost like
in Jacksonville, it's like a normal take, but the rest of the NFL would probably disagree.
It'd probably be like 28-4.
Yeah,
it's staggering. But I tend to agree with you. I think he's
a little overrated at this point.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm gonna say Trevor. Hear me out. I know Lamar Jackson is a phenomenal regular season quarterback. I just think his ceiling is where it is, and we know where it is, and it's not going to win a Super Bowl. I think Trevor's ceiling we don't know yet. So just like because I think he could potentially be better one day, I would take Trevor, knowing right now Lamar Jackson, of course, a way better quarterback at the moment. So
I'd take Lamar, but I'm still petrified that he's going to go down one of these days.
Right.
With his style. Jalen Hurts.
Trevor. No question.
I'm with you. Dak Prescott.
Trevor.
Dak Prescott can't win a playoff game.
No, I
think Trevor has as many playoff wins as Dak, right? Don't they both have one?
One? It's just crazy. Yeah, but he did have like a 70% completion. A lot of easy throws for Dak last year. He puts up gaudy regular season numbers, but I'm with you. I think Trevor's future is brighter than Dak's.
All right, top 10. Justin Herbert, 9.
Herbert.
Really like him a lot, too.
I do. I love Herbert.
Big prototypical quarterback. Yeah, I think I would take Herbert. Jordan Love.
Trevor.
Yeah, I think he's overrated.
Yeah, I don't buy the hype.
11 is Aaron Rodgers. At this age, I'm taking Trevor.
Yeah, I agree.
Tua.
Trevor.
Yep. Jared Goff. So underrated.
I'd probably go Goff, honestly.
So underrated. But here's the difference between Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence. Detroit has the best offensive line in the NFL. They can run the ball, and they can pass protect. Jacksonville can't do either one of those two things. How good would Trevor Lawrence be if he was in Detroit? How good would Jared Goff be here with this offensive line? Right?
It's an interesting question. I think Trevor still would probably turn the ball over a little bit more than Goff if they switch teams. So just based on that alone, Trevor's turnovers really pissed me off. Like that's the only thing holding me back from him putting him in that, up there with the rest of these guys. 14 is Cousins. I'd go Cousins right now, but like Trevor for the future for sure.
Trevor comes in at 15. Behind Trevor, it's Stafford, Watson, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson, and Baker Mayfield.
Geno Smith.
At number 20.
Still holding on, Geno.
Geno Smith had a great year 2 years ago.
Yeah, he did.
So, best case scenario, as I look through rose-colored glasses, best case scenario, Trevor Lawrence could make a huge move from 15, well into the top 10. I'm not going to sit here and tell you top 5, but he could go from 15 to 6, 7, or 8 in one season by just cleaning up his mistakes. Now, can guys stay healthy? Can the offensive line block? Can they establish a running attack, especially in the second half? I'm going to save this list. And we'll go back to it in a year because they're going to come out with them. About everyone does year after year. We'll see how much Trevor Lawrence moves up in just one season. All right, we got much more to do. Taking you up until 8 o'clock right here on this Wednesday night. If you want to join the conversation, getting a lot in as expected. Some great stuff. It's one of these shows where I don't have an opportunity to respond to all of you because I've just received so many. Try to read them all, however. 641-1010. That is the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
May I speak? You have my permission. My sensors indicate the presence of aliens. How many? 10 XL. This is imperative. Imperative indeed!
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable, high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made, and make an outdoor kitchen custom built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
If you're an experienced, skilled plumber or welder that's MedGas certified and you're tired of working for a company that just doesn't treat you right, Local 234 is the place for you. Their pay is the best in the business. You'll walk away with $35.09 an hour in your pocket. With benefits, that's just over $50 an hour. Local 234 has been around since 1901, and that means something. Visit UA234.com to send your resume. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Fish are good at hiding. Captain Kevin can help you find them.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Find more fish on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Thursday nights at 6.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss on 1010XL AM.
This is Hayes Carline for Skylife Elite. Are you tired of canceled flights, unruly passengers, and layovers? Call my friends at Skylife Elite. Consider using private charter flights for your next adventure. Yes, you can afford it. Make your own schedule. Fly direct. Drive your car to Craig Airport and get directly on the plane. Skylife Elite can make that happen. Call 490-9332. Go to flyskylife.com and find them on social media. Fly Skylife Elite, North Florida's premier private air charter.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids. Healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around, period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at trustlinemortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Right now, you may be running a little late, or feeling stressed, or overwhelmed, and you may be going a bit over the speed limit. So to help you relax, exhale. Ease up on the gas. You'll get there when you get there. Take a moment to just chill. This little break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Let's go! Help cheer your Sharks on to victory as they battle the Green Bay Blizzards in exciting IFL football action this Saturday, July 13th, 7 o'clock in the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Now, check out our new family pack. You get 4 tickets, 4 vouchers, and a $25 Al's Pizza gift card. It's a great deal. To purchase yours or to get more information, call 904-621-0700. And ho, ho, ho! Who's ready for Christmas in July?
A little Christmas music, maestro?
Whether you're on the naughty or nice list, come out and support your Sharks. You never know, you might get a chance to say hi to Santa.
It's almost Christmas.
All we want for Christmas is a Sharks win. Check out our post-game autograph session and see if the players and dancers are asking for the same present as you.
Let's go!
Don't miss the fun and excitement of Sharks football this Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 621-0700. That's 904-621-0700. Let's go!
Let's go! For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I was going to get after a couple of odds today. I didn't really have the opportunity to do it. But there's a couple of defensive backs. This is pretty interesting. I did see this that came out, betonline.com. Stephon Gilmore, 4-1 odds to end up here. Highest odds of any team in the NFL. Jacksonville for Gilmore, who's certainly north of 30 now. Gilmore, very good career. And, certainly Buffalo and New England. I don't remember where he was last year. Might have been Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah, it was Dallas.
He's 33 now.
33-year-old corners.
He'll be 34 by week 2 or 3 of the season. But yeah, former defensive player of the year. It's been a long time though.
And then Xavier Howard, second, behind only the Giants, 4-1 odds. Jacksonville at 5-1.
I'm surprised he's not on a team.
Yeah.
He's a little bit younger. And I feel like he's been fresher lately than Gilmore.
So you got two right there that, here I am. I rag on the national media about, just neglecting Jacksonville in the case of Josh Hines. Allen just omitting him, just leaving him off. An awful mistake. Nothing gets by Vegas. Nothing gets by odds. Okay? And
yeah, they're not accidentally leaving someone off.
When they get stuff like this, they are thorough. So I don't hate it if there's anything left. I mean, you got plenty of money here. Jacksonville, again, still has, and we put the very latest, according to overthecap.com, presently I have Jackson with $28,583,000. I would rather have them bring in an end. I'd rather have them bring in Unique or Emmanuel Ogba, someone. Just get another body. You got a 90-man roster, and money's not an issue. You have tons of cash. And I know more deals are coming. It feels like the Tyson Campbell deal, according to Ricky on Twitter, who's been spot on with everything. He tells me that, and he's told others as well in the market, that the Tyson Campbell deal is going to happen before camp actually does get underway. And, of course, they report on the 23rd. The first practice is on the 24th. What did you just send me here about a robotic bartender?
Yeah, good news for Americans who are tired of tipping. It looks like the Texas Rangers, who I guess they're hosting the All-Star game, that one passed me by. They are starting to serve alcohol with a with a robot bartender at games, and it starts this All-Star weekend. And they have the little guy there with his little arms, and it looks pretty quick. He's making mixed drinks. I thought at first it would be just like, hey, they pour a beer and the little arm gives it to you or something. But this is awesome. Yeah. And no more tipping. Sorry, guys.
Well, there you go. We're all going to be replaced.
We are, especially you. Now that we have Al Michaels AI's voice, we have so much content from you over the years that I'm sure we could just put your voice together and do a 2-hour show nightly without you.
How about Carson Beck dating one of the Cavender twins.
That's a power couple.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, are they volley? I guess I don't know. Or no, they're basketball players?
Yeah. They
were
at
Miami?
Hoop players at Miami.
Yeah.
I think one of them transferred somewhere else, and I think they both went back to the U this year.
They're blonde. They're very attractive. They're very athletic, and I think they make tons of NIL cash. And yeah, that's one of those. It's like, is this a real couple, or is this just is this a Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce couple, or are they really in love?
I remember 4 years ago, right before Carson was ready to go to Georgia, I met his girlfriend at the time. She was a cart girl. I wish I remember the golf course.
She still is. Apparently.
I don't know what golf course it was. I don't remember, but she was a very nice girl. And obviously they were in high school. But, people move on. Those high school relationships don't work.
Listen, this is why I love Patrick Mahomes and Brittany Mahomes. Because, people dog her. People love to talk so much crap about this girl that they've never met because she has an annoying voice online. I get that. But she's been there since day one, man. There's pictures of them in middle school together. She's got braces. They got braces on. This is his number one. So it's not like she's jumping on the train after he's won a Super Bowl or made a couple mil. She put in the time and effort early on, and she's able to live nicely because of that.
I don't
get in early, folks.
Yeah, I don't get the hate there.
Neither do I.
She's
a lovely woman.
I just I don't get it. I know that she's offended people because she popped
champagne or something on the.
She was popping bottles, right?
Yeah, and it got a little bit on the people below.
Yeah.
God forbid.
But anyway,
we have owners in the NFL who are pouring drinks on fans here. Okay.
I don't agree with that in sports. I don't. For the most part, I mean, there's some examples when you totally cross the line, but just in general, it kind of feels like for one reason or another, the general public. And Mahomes seems like he's such a down to earth good guy.
Oh, yeah.
That she's just gotten destroyed over the years.
She kind of takes all the bullets. He doesn't take any, which is crazy. When Brady was. At the status that Mahomes is right now, I mean, he had so many haters. I just feel like Mahomes he's not unhateable, but he doesn't have nearly the haters that the LeBrons, the Bradys have. I don't know why.
The 9201 is going to get me to become a Florida Gator fan, okay? Because he's a Georgia fan.
Oh, I see.
And I've always kind of had, my thing with Georgia. But he can't go a sentence without telling me that Florida State sucks. And I'm like, haven't they won 20 of their last 12? Didn't they win 19 in a row, 20 in a row until they got just blown away by Georgia? If you think they're down or whatever, fine. But can you really use the word sucks when talking about Florida State? So
I would love to suck like that as a Hurricane fan.
Now he goes on to say, hey, I listen to the show every day. Yeah. I listen to both hours. Call me Big Daddy. Someone else earlier was asking, speaking of Big Daddy, someone else asking, did you see some of the stuff they were asking us earlier?
Very personal questions about
extremely
me
personal.
or you.
Yeah. I'm like, wow.
And I don't know, but I'm always going to say me.
Do you think she's hot?
Who? Yeah, this guy. I don't think we've ever had a female texter in the history of 1010XL.
This guy's a gal. No, of course we do. We have the Godfather gal. We have quite a few lady listeners.
Okay. No, not listeners. I feel like the texters who, use foul language and take shots at us. Our nice lady listeners wouldn't do that.
Well, they wanted to know, and then they went on to say that they were on their way over here. Pretty bizarre. All right. Final thoughts and including let's cool it down.
Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, the cool down tonight. Well, I was certainly hot earlier, and I'm just trying to make a point. Okay? We all do it differently. And it's been my off-season point, and it's going to continue to be my off-season point. What I want next for this franchise is for players to be developed, not to where they're good. And you say, should you sign them? Should you not sign them? And that applies right now to Tyson Campbell and Andre Sisco. And it used to apply to Walker Little, and it's going to apply to Devin Lloyd. Instead, I want them to be so good that it's without question that you have to re-sign them. Then you'd have to pay them among the elite in the NFL. And, I just hate that you've been conditioned as Jaguar fans to accept average as well above average because this franchise has been a losing franchise forever. And now 9-8 is pretty close to a Super Bowl. And an average player that you re-sign is like, he's a top 5 player in the league. And they're not. But that's the next step. And that is what is going to have to happen if this team is going to get above 500 and go deep into the playoffs year after year after year. These players have to become great. Game breakers, decision makers, top 5. And CBS Sports did really a terrible job when you look at no offensive linemen, whether it was tackle, guard, or center, no wide receivers, no safeties, no corners, one linebacker in Aloakon. He was your only defensive guy, Aloakon, at 16. No one on the defensive line. A tight end in Ingram at 11, a running back at ETN at 11, and your quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, at 15. That's average to below average. These players need to become great if this team's going to win. And that's what I hope is next. Appreciate all your input. I know, check the text line out. The show is over. You can always get me on Twitter, Ballou1010XL. Thank you to now Lawrence Stample. For JJ LaSelva, my name is Rick Ballou. Hackers up next. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.